go.
Okay, now we're going to have a test run, and so now is this vodka? Yeah.
This is straight up.
And this was his morning martini.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Okay.
Very good. Well, the conversations that we've had in the past, I've always talked about how you really got to have a real interest in something to be successful at it. Or, like, to me, automotive was the thing, and I wanted to work on cars, and I did. But anyway, the more I think about it, the more I come up with things that really spurred my interest. Like I mentioned, George and Jesse Wickman. They were very close friends of the folks. He was an instructor in the schools in Marble, and then he moved to Coleraine to the high school, and so he was one that helped push the automotive button.
Now, this is the test here, but one question: when you were in the service, did you work on automobiles for the Army, or then?
Oh yeah.
So you were in the
I
motor division, whatever they call it.
When I went into service, I went to Fort Francis E. Warren in Cheyenne, Wyoming, and I went through the basic training, of course, but I went through the auto school there.
You did.
Yeah, and an interesting note on that is that when we got to the point that our basic training was over, we would go over to this school and be interviewed to see what our background was and whether we fit into that subject, the automotive. And I was being interviewed by a civilian instructor, and standing behind him was a sergeant. I don't remember if he was a tech sergeant or a master sergeant or what he was, but he was listening in to the interview, and of course I was telling about what I had done in high school and my education at Dunwoody and so forth. And when he got all through, he turned around to this sergeant and said, "That sounds pretty good, doesn't it?" And the sergeant said, "We'll see." It's like that, we'll see.
Yeah. So, you know what? Now this is for all the stories you told us, Zillion. You never put those pieces in that you had started on automobiles when you were a kid.
Right.
It's
Yeah.
When we do the big movie here, we got to make sure that's in the thing, because it really brings the story all together.
Yeah, right.
No idea. So let's see.
Yeah, there we go. Well, it's recording now.
Oh, is it?
It says record, see? Now we'll get Johnny over there.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, we're recording, Dad.
Okay. Well, we were talking about the importance of family around you, and I was telling you that when my mother and dad and I and my grandfather went back to Michigan to visit, how one-sided kind of it was. It was mostly my mother's side, and on my mother's side, the Dennis side was her mother's maiden name was Dennis, and she had Aunt Ella was her mother's sister, and there was another sister, I can't think of her name right now, and then there was Uncle Charlie and Uncle Lou.